In fact, he's going to tell you why.
Yeah.
Job 32, and we're going to pick it up at verse 4. It says, now Elihu, this is the young guy, this is the younger of the three. He said, now Elihu had waited till Job had spoken because they were older than he.
Right. Respect.
This young man respected the fact that these guys were older than him, so he waited till they got through talking.
Right.
Job 32 and 4. Even though they were condemning Job unjustly, and Elihu knew it, he still didn't just jump in and intervene and start talking. He waited till the older guys finished talking.
Mm-hmm.
In those days, let me emphasize that, in those days, younger people had respect for the elder. And show what happened. I'm telling you, the worst woman I ever got in my life was my papa. My papa called me one day, he said, Roy. And I said, huh? I said, huh? And so I didn't hear nothing else. So I go in the room. I said, you called me? He said, yeah, come here. I came close. He said, come here. And I came a little closer. And he said, come here. And when I got right up to him, he hit me so hard in my mouth, my jaw rattled for 2 days. And I looked at Papa and said, Papa, what did I do? He said, when I call you, you say, yes, sir.
Amen.
And he said, not only when I call you, anybody that's older than you, you say yes, ma'am, or yes, sir.
Amen.
And if I heard that you didn't, he said, I'm going to knock all your teeth out.
Amen.
Next day, I was sitting in the room, and I thought I heard my grandpa call me, and I ran and I said, sir? And he laughed. I didn't call you. He said, but you're on the right track.
Amen.
Because he meant what he said. So here Elihu, evidently, my papa must have been Elihu's granddad. Because Elihu waited till Job and these other older guys had finished talking. Then he said something. Now the young people now, they can tell you to shut up.
Amen.
And they start talking. In fact, they don't even let you talk.
Yeah.
He said, now Elihu had waited till Job had spoken because they were older than he. When Elihu saw that there was no answer in the mouth of these three men, then his wrath was kindled. And Elihu, the son of Barak, the Buzite, answered and said, I am young and you are very old. Wherefore was I afraid and did not show you my opinion. In other words, he said, because you are older than me and I'm younger than you, he said, I really just been sitting here holding in my opinion. Because a lot of times, really, if you young and you sitting it among elders, you really ain't got nothing to say.
Right.
He said, but I got to say this, though. He said, I got to tell you. And he went on and told him what he had to say. Go with me to 1 Corinthians chapter 4. You know the Lord told Moses in one of the commandments, he said for the children, he said, honor your mother and your father, that your days may be long upon the earth. And of all the commandments, that is the only one that came with a promise. That's why you got a lot of people dying young.
Amen.
They will honor their mother and their father. It don't matter if mama was a bad mama. It don't matter if daddy was a bad daddy. You keep your end of the bar. You do what God told you to do. He didn't put no stipulations in there. Honor your mother and your father if they're Christians. He didn't say that.
He didn't say nothing about earning respect either, because people was older and naturally came.
Amen. 1 Corinthians, remember we read what the Lord said, that Moses was faithful in all his house. In other words, he was saying that Moses, I can trust him with stuff. See, God don't give a lot of people stuff because they're not faithful. And see, the way he find out whether or not you're faithful is he give you stuff around here to do. He gives you a job or an assignment in this church to do. And if you can't carry out a little old assignment in this church, God ain't going to give you your own church, your own house. You got to prove yourself faithful. 1 Corinthians chapter 4, pick it up in verse 1. One day I'm going to let somebody read for me. I'm going to preach all over this church. He said, let a man so account of us as of the ministers of Christ and stewards of the mysteries of God. Now, let me explain to you what a steward is. A steward is someone that has been given authority over everything that this person owns. In other words, I'm your steward. You have entrusted me with everything that's yours, and you go off on a long trip. And I'm a steward. Now this brother expects when he comes back to his house, he expects all his furniture to be in there. Amen. He don't expect for me to steal his stuff. He don't expect for one piece to be missing. And not only that, let me share this also about a steward. When he leaves me in control of everything that he owns, he also leaves me in control of his children, his family. So I'm supposed to. He can't come home one day and say, you know what, Daddy, that steward you placed over me, he didn't feed us breakfast. But let me show you what the Bible says about a steward. Verse 2. It says, moreover, it is required in a man, in stewards, that a man be found faithful. Let me read that again. Moreover, it is required in stewards that a man be found faithful. That means I'm trusting you with my church, I'm trusting you with my people, and I expect for you to be faithful and do everything that you're supposed to do as a steward. But y'all get up and say, I ain't doing nothing. But he said it is required. Not, I'm asking. He said it is required that a steward be found faithful. Yes.
I mean, you could say like this, God's giving us things that we need to be faithful, like things that, little things like he gave me like clothes and things like that. We got to be good stewards of what God gave us. And we got to keep care of what we got first. He's not going to give us much more than that.
Especially over his house. Especially over his house. Because you can't wake up one day and decide, I don't want to clean up the church. I don't want to clean up the door. I don't want to sweep the bathroom. That's not being a faithful steward. That's why a lot of us have been held back from having our own. Because God is testing. You know what the Lord gave me is some talents.